Make sure your face is serious. It's gotta be more serious than that, I feel like.
If you want people to take you seriously, you must look serious.
I look way more
Serious
serious than you do.
You do.
You need glasses.
I don't know. I need glasses. Hold on.
Yeah, you need glasses. Makes you look a little bit more serious.
Do you feel like I might have some glasses here? I don't know if they're serious glasses though. Check these out.
Yeah, they add a level, another level.
Warning, this podcast may cause excessive dad jokes, sudden bursts of motivation, and the irresistible urge to high-five yourself.
Welcome to the Daddius Project, where we help dads master the biggest and messiest project of your life, dadhood.
I'm Scott Vatcher, recovering perfectionist, dad of one teenage girl, and a guy who once didn't sleep for 6 months straight.
And I'm Evan Hill, professional chaos coordinator, dad of 3 teenagers, and living proof that duct tape can fix a sippy cup temporarily.
Each week, we'll hit you with real talk, dad hacks, and the kind of inspiration that doesn't require matching socks.
Ready to level up? Let's build this dad life together.
So what are we talking about today, bro?
We're going to introduce the P6 of Daddius. We're going to talk about the first one, power. Introduce that to the dads out there. Yeah. You want to lead off?
So if you guys remember
power a little bit.
This being the Daddius project, right, is all about the project of being the best dad, being the best man. And we created something called the P6, or 6 pillars of dadhood. As I've said, pillar number 1, we call power. I think we initially called it purpose, didn't we? I think.
Yep. Yeah.
But then we were like, let's go bigger than that. You know, power is, I believe, it's a more powerful word, don't you think?
Definitely. I think it needs a little bit of definition though, because people often think of power like a ruler, you know, like the king is all powerful or that sort of thing. And this is about our inner power.
I thought you meant like a ruler, like a measuring stick.
Yeah, that's why I followed that up with the second part of that sentence, because I thought maybe I'd lose you there.
You totally did lose me. I'm like, okay. A ruler. What are we measuring? What are we measuring, Ev? What are we comparing now?
I wasn't so worried about the listeners, losing the listeners. It was more about losing you, but whatever. Which I did. I lost
That's all that really matters, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's all. I think that's all that matters.
Yeah, so
Okay, so anyway, back to the kingdom.
Back to power. That it's not about power, control, that sort of thing. It's about our inner power. It's about what gets us up in the morning, what excites us about our life. It's like that energy, that spark, that flame that drives us every single day. Ooh.
Why don't I read out our short definition of it? What do you think?
Yeah.
Here's our definition of power. Power is knowing your purpose, having a vision for your life and executing your mission, all while living in alignment with your values and beliefs. This results in you living with energy, integrity, focus, clarity, intention, and confidence. In other words, power is seeing the light at the end of the chosen path, having a fire that fuels you down that path, and executing a plan with guardrails on either side, keeping you from veering off while having a perspective that supports your path. Power is much more than just motivation. Motivation can get you started on your journey. Motivation is like kindling on a fire. It burns bright but is short-lived. For example, you may be motivated on New Year's Eve to make health, wealth, relationship commitments. Power is what will keep you going after motivation wanes. Power is our foundation. It is long-term and can last a lifetime, even when times get tough. We discover and cultivate power through self-exploration, which constantly evolves.
Wow, that's good. That's good. We wrote that, right?
We wrote that.
We wrote
we
that.
did. I think I wrote that part.
Yeah. Well, if it's good, then yeah, you wrote that.
Pretty much. You know, when you read in the book, if you read the book, the good parts are me.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. The
Yeah,
stories are.
whenever you're.
That was a good storyteller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you find yourself like chuckling or feeling entertained, that would be Scott.
Yeah, it was too serious. It was very serious.
Yeah.
His glasses on.
Mm-hmm. Very serious. So let's talk about this a little bit. Let's talk about the need for power, you know, or what life is like without it. I think it's, you know, I think some people are going through the motions, but don't really have this vision for themselves, and this flame, and this, you know, and this light at the end of the tunnel, and this flame that's like helping them energetically, like every day, you know, even when it's hard. And you hear people too, like, you know, and are not sure about their purpose. And I'm going to go find my purpose, you know. And we talk about this in the book, and I love this line, is that we don't find our purpose, we create our purpose. And it's this concept of like self-discovery and really putting pen to paper. You know, it's really important to write down our vision, which is how we see ourselves in the future. And our mission is like the execution part of it. Like, think of it like a soldier being told by the sergeant, this is the mission. And so that's like the plan that they're going to be executing to achieve a certain result. And
Like Mission Impossible.
Like Mission Impossible, yes. And he
I
opens
watched
up
that.
the.
I watched that.
Yeah.
I watched that with my
So
daughter
good.
this weekend. And
Yeah.
you know, say what you will against what's his name, Tom Cruise. Man,
Tom
he's a good
Cruise.
actor. He does all his own stunts, eh?
It's crazy. You know, he's
Did you see
he's
that one
incredibly
where he,
talented. Yeah. Jumps off.
Did you see that one where he jumped across
on
the building
this-
and like
Yeah.
fractured his ankle?
He fractures his ankle. Yeah. Yeah.
And then
finish
gets
the
up and
tape.
runs off and finishes the
Yeah.
day. Awesome.
Yeah.
And they have
Yeah.
lots of missions in Mission Impossible. So sorry to interrupt you there, but just in case you weren't
Great
sure
example,
what a mission
though.
was, it's like when you create something and you make it happen.
That's right. Yeah, so that's like the plan of action. You know, you open up the whatever he gets the confidential, I don't know if it's like a piece of paper or the computer, and then he reads this like, okay, this is what you got to do, and then it's going to self-destruct, and then it like blows up. But like, fortunately, we don't have like our plans just blow up in our face. We can just write them on paper, and they're not going to blow up, and that's fine.
But that's the thing, though, is they often do blow up, don't they? Right, in real life. You know, we have the best
yeah.
intentions. I think we've got the quote in the book where Mike Tyson says, "Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face." And man,
Yeah.
you get punched in the face on the daily when you're a dad, aren't you? Don't you? So
Yeah,
that's,
in many
that's a
ways.
big part of what I love about what we talk about in Power, right? It's you got to create that vision, you got to create the mission, you know, you got to be tactical about it. We have lots of cool things in the book around how to do that. But what happens when the guardrails come flying off? Like, how do we deal with that? That's, I think, the bigger scenario, because just like we
Yeah.
talked about New Year's Eve, we tend to, create things. Oh, what's the biggest thing about New Year's Eve is probably something to do with your health. I'm going to lose this weight, or I'm going to run a marathon, or I'm going to do something. And then by
Stop
February
drinking.
1st, so stop drinking. Something along the health related is probably the most common, but whatever it is, the likely scenario or the statistical relevance of that is 90 something percent of people have stopped chasing that goal, vision, mission, dream, whatever it is, by February 1st. So how do we keep going? How do we not have it kindling on New Year's Eve when you're kind of feeling good and, oh, that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to do tomorrow. Like, that's probably the most famous words, isn't it? I'll start tomorrow.
And mañana. Mañana's a big thing down here. Mañana, mañana.
I don't know
This
what
is the
mañana
running
is,
joke.
but I'm guessing it means, does it mean tomorrow?
It means tomorrow, yeah. And it's this thing
Right.
down here. It's like, yep, mañana. It's always seems like it's the next day it's going to happen, and then the next day and the next day. And it's very much like, we talk about Western culture. So Canada, US, UK is probably like this. Australia is probably like this, where people are just like, go, 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 go. And they let those New Year's resolutions fall to wayside, probably because they're too busy, or they're just not prioritizing them, or all these things, these distractions. And then down here, I don't even know if they really set goals so much. They're not really driven that way, and things don't often go like when you say you're going to come to something, we expect you to be there, and a lot of times they'll just message and be like, tomorrow, be there tomorrow, and then they don't come the next day, and then they don't come the next day. So either way, we talked about.
That's what do you call it? One of those riddles. I think it's a riddle. What is one thing that never comes, that never happens, or something like that? It's tomorrow. Something that you can never be in is tomorrow. And so you can always say tomorrow, and tomorrow means the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and then you're 50 or you're 60 or you're 80, and things didn't go as planned.
Yeah. And it's, I thought about that, but, or whatever. And when you said about the guardrails and things, going off the guardrail and, things going off track, and we talk about we talk about dads identifying in that chapter. In those chapters, we talk about dads identifying their values, and this is a really important exercise to identify our values, as the values are the guardrails. If you imagine driving down like a 2-lane road, and it's windy, and it's dark, and it's hard to see, and there's distractions, there's lights coming at you from the cars, blinding you, and there's no like reflectors on the ground, and there's just people and dogs and coming off the sides of the road, and just a lot of stuff happening that could easily cause you to.
And there's dragons and all kinds.
Yeah. I'm basically describing the roads in Costa Rica right now, about all these things that could happen while you're driving, and the guardrails are your values, and that's what keeps you on the road. And this to me was a massive breakthrough in my life. I had a coach, a life coach, and she was actually the one who shared with me about this place in Costa Rica that I moved to. But she helped me work on the values and understanding what my top values are. And it was amazing when I got clear on that, because the decisions that I made in my life, I aligned with my values. And so when we talk about our vision for our life and our mission, so the vision, I'll share my vision. It's in the book too, Scott. Let's see. So
Let's see.
here it is. So with a vision, you want to imagine a time in the future where you've created what you want. And you want to imagine how you look and feel and what your interactions are with your wife and your kids. Picture how your life's work has come to fruition. Where do you live? How are you enjoying yourself? What activities are you doing? You want to make it as real as possible. Make it that the beliefs, that experience of like, oh my gosh, that is something that I would love. So I wrote, it's 2025. It's kind of crazy. It's 2025 now. I wrote this, I don't know, 6 years ago.
When did you write it?
Yeah.
6 years ago?
I think it was 6 years ago. Yeah.
16 years ago when we started writing the book? I think that's when it was.
Feels
I think something like
feels like it.
Yeah.
So here was my vision. It's 2025 and I see my family playing in the waves in Costa Rica. We relocated there to pursue my wife's passion for helping horses with chiropractic care. We live on a property overlooking the ocean with a beautiful community of conscious, happy, and healthy people contributing to improving the planet. I spend most of my day outside enjoying the ocean, doing yoga, or in the jungle. I'm building my online businesses to help people all over the world. So, like, I don't know, that's pretty bright behind me right now.
It's pretty bright all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's the sunset. Yeah, exactly.
That
I'm gonna just turn a
is,
little bit.
as you read out your vision, that happened. It was like the
Wow.
gods were parting the seas of the...
Wow.
That was a pretty good time.
Yeah, so
It worked out perfectly.
Yeah, that was
We
cool.
did that in the pre-show, and it was like, oh, let's get the right timing
Yeah.
on that one, and bam, it happened.
yeah.
Yeah, you got to watch this one.
Yeah.
If you're listening, check that out. Yeah.
And so that's the sun setting over the ocean in Costa Rica, and behind me is the jungle, and my wife right now is with our horse, and like these are all things that to me it was like a pie in the sky. Like I put this vision down. This is what I would love, and I would hope that it could happen. I could not see from where I was to getting here. I couldn't see the plan. I couldn't see the steps. And created a mission, created a plan gradually, like things started to come together. But it wasn't a forced plan. A lot of it was having this vision down and then the right things happening in my life. And it was all of a sudden I'm realizing like, wow, this is happening. Like we're moving to Costa Rica. And that just happened very suddenly. And Scott talked about things going not as planned. And so there's only so much planning that we can do. And we have to obviously think each day about the next steps and continue to move forward if our plan's going a different direction or things aren't working out as we imagine, that kind of thing. I'm sure we've all experienced that. The other elements of power that we talked about, I think are really important for the mission and the vision to happen. And those are the elements of responsibility and integrity. And we talk about these in the book as well. And really, once we get to this point where we're feeling like, or we can take on that we are responsible for everything we have and that we don't have in our lives, it really puts us in the driver's seat. It definitely raises the bar of responsibility. It feels like life can feel heavier in a way because it's like, wow, this is on me. it's either I make this happen or it's not happening. But the truth is that's really how it is. And integrity is, in my mind, it's a thing that we wake up with. We wake up every day with no integrity. It's like we're starting from zero. It's not, we can't bank integrity from the day before. Integrity is something that we earn through completing what we say we're going to do that day, through doing the things that we said we were going to do throughout that day. So we build our integrity every single day by taking responsibility and doing these things. And those are all elements of power that come together to make a vision happen. And so, yeah, I'm this chapter, in my mind, it's an absolute must for dads that really want to create. Yeah.
It's a bit of a blessing and a curse, isn't it? Integrity. Because the curse is that you can't bank it. It's not like it doesn't have, well, it does kind of have compounding interest, like a bank account. But you do wake up every day with zero and you have to build it each and every day. So it's like, what I did yesterday doesn't count for today. That sucks. But what the other side is that every day you get to choose to do it. And Nathaniel Branden says in his book, The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem, which, by the way, awesome freaking book. No one is coming to save you. You can't, no one else can do this for you. Integrity is an inside job. And I think the more, again, I think we're going to probably harp on this, I don't know, 6,843 times in this coming podcast around, it's an inside job, right? To be the best dad out there, you got to be the best man, you got to be the best person. And power is where you start. If you don't set up your power first, everything else is going to wane. It's going to be a New Year's Eve situation where, a week, a month from now, it's going to wane. And I think a big part about that is how do you keep it going? That's community, right? Like without your buddies or without your accountability groups or without your, something to keep you accountable, to keep you moving forward, to help you through the tough times, communication is key. And for right now, what we've got is a Facebook group. So check it out if you want to. Daddius, what do we call it at the moment? Daddius Conscious Dads, something like that. Yeah, it's just a group of dads in there, and trying to keep each other accountable. So if you want to connect with us, that might be a way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you said something there that sparked me. And this book, we're talking about the P6. And these are all critical parts of us being really the best dads, which means that the best dads that we can be. So it's about being the best that we can for our kids, for our family. That's a big game to play. And the P6 are the different elements to what it takes to really knock that out of the park. And I think that inherently as dads, we go into being a dad hopefully excited. I know I was excited. I was nervous too. But I think inherently we want to be a great dad, right? Like we want to have a great experience. We want our kids to love us. We want our kids to run to us and be like, "Daddy, Daddy," I love you so much. And that's inherently what we want, and we want to do well with, like, financially for our family, providing for our family and protecting our family and these sorts of things. I think inherently that's what dads want, and it really is like saying, I want to do really good at an Ironman and not training. Being a dad, like, there's elements to being a dad that that this aspect of power, like we really need to have, so that we follow through with the different elements of really putting it all together, like somebody who's training for an Ironman needs to do. And in an Ironman, they need to do the training for the different events, cycling, running, swimming, but they also have to look at their nutrition and their recovery and their psychology, and to be the best at as an Ironman, there's all these elements, and it's like that with dadhood. But most dads aren't really going into it thinking that way, and they're not thinking about their power being the driver and the foundation that's going to make all these other things like prosperity and parenting and passion and play and performance be at their top level. And that's unfortunate, but that's what the Daddius Project is about. It's about giving you that structure so you can be really clear on, okay, these are the foundational elements, and you might be looking at these different aspects that we ask you to do in the power. We're talking about the different. We have Daddius projects at the end of each chapter, and it gives you something to work on, and that's going to help you develop power. That's going to really propel you forward in the other 5 Ps.
Yeah, and it's just like the books on the shelf back here, right? It's a tool to be used. And an Ironman is an endurance event, right? And for us, dadhood is the biggest endurance event or project we'll ever have in our lives. It never ends. Never ends.
No.
And just like this shelf books, did you hear? A mate of ours, Joe, he recently got crushed by a pile of books. And he's only got his shelf to blame.
He's only got a shelf to what?
He's only got a shelf to blame. Only got a shelf to blame. Anyway,
Nice.
like how I dropped that one in there?
That was good. That was good. I like how you worked that in.
Have
you seen my so this is my little gym here. So I've got my weights here.
Oh yeah,
This is kind of like a little mezzanine space. So I turned this into my podcasting area. Yeah, but I thought, like, for working out, I'd do some lunges. So I thought that would be a good step forward.
It's a good step.
Good step forward.
Weighted lunges?
Yeah, weighted ones. Good step.
A weighted step forward.
Good step.
It's good.
One step at a time.
But I was at a party. I was at a party. It was a kids' party. And Elsa was there from Frozen. Everyone was getting balloons, but you couldn't give Elsa one because she was just going to let it go.
Oh, solid. I'll give you that. Oh boy, getting better at working them in a bit better.
Yeah. We're going to get better at dropping these in all over the place. And I'm glad you're such a good listener. You know, Corn is a good listener too. Corn's all ears.
Oh yeah. It's all ears.
Yeah.
I was thinking of getting a haircut though, because I feel like I should probably look better for the podcast. But yeah, I've been mulleting it over.
Me too. Mulleting it over. You would look so ridiculous with a mullet. I would look even
Yes.
more ridiculous.
Oh yeah, you would look.
Can you do a beard equivalent of a mullet? Where would you grow? Where would you grow? Like back here?
Oh, yeah.
Just here? Ooh, would that work? If I grew like this out? This short and this long? Beard mullet. Could be a new thing. I think my wife would love it.
Try it. See what she thinks.
Yeah, okay.
Should give it a try.
I'll see what I can do. It'll take a little while.
See how that goes. Yeah. See how long it takes before she notices. It's trending. The mullet
It's
beard.
trending. Well,
Yeah.
we'll see. Hopefully it trends. Mullet beard. Beard mullet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bullet. A bullet. A bullet? Beard
A
mullet.
bullet.
Yeah, anyway.
She, I think it's, you can just, at that point, you can kind of gauge like how relaxed she is about your decisions around your appearance. At some point, there's going to be.
We'll get into that.
Mm-hmm.
It is in
Yeah.
the next P, which segues into potentially the end of this episode and the segue into the next episode. We went sideways there for a minute, but that's okay. That's
all right.
That's a life, dad life. But yeah, so I mean, we're going to obviously dive deeper into power. We believe that this is, there's 6 pillars, but this is the pillar of the pillars to dive deep into. But I hope you guys get a good sense of what it's all about. And the next P that we're going to dive into on the next episode is performance.
Love this
Sound
one.
like a plan?
Sounds like a plan.
That's another episode in the books, dads. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was dadhood.
True story. For more tools to build your best dad life, grab our book, The Daddius Project, or join us at daddius.com.
And hey, if you learned one thing today, you're already winning. Even if that one thing was never trust a 3-year-old with glitter.
Words to live by. Now go forth and dad like a pro.
They had a
little
level.
crooked. Yeah, a little
These
crooked
are
too. So that's
these
good.
are my these are now my reading glasses because
Uh-huh.
oh,
Oh, I know.
you've always had glasses.
Yeah, but it's
Ever since
complicated.
I think you've always worn them, have you? Like when did you start wearing glasses?
I started when I was going into grade 9.
Grade 9. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was like 13. Yeah.
I got a pair in university for a long distance. I had this one, I think it was a chemistry class. And my God, the class was massive. It was like a football stadium. And I had to walk from like the whole other side of the campus. So I'd always get there late. So there'd only be seats at the back. I swear to God, I was 100 meters from the friggin' front. And I was like, I can't see that. And so I got some glasses then. But these are the readers, the magnifying ones that if you look up from the paper, you're like, oh man, I really don't need glasses. But then you put them on and it's
It's awesome.
it's better up front.
Yeah.
My eyes
Yeah.
have done something interesting in the last year or so. Anyways, serious?
Yeah. Cheers, face. Much better with glasses.
Face and 3, 2, 1.
Hi. Do you ever play? My kids play this game where they try to make each other laugh. It's hilarious to watch them. So the one tries
Just
to
so
keep a
like
straight face,
just
and
look
the
at
other
each
one,
other, but then
the other
just like
one.
a little.
Yeah, they do. I don't even know what kind of stuff they do to try to make each other laugh, but they're just dying laughing doing it. It's so funny.
I think
Yeah.
it just depends on the mood you're in. God, I can't handle those anymore. No more serious. Let's do it.
You don't have to wear them. That's okay. Should I take mine
No,
off?
I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not at the stage where I absolutely need them, so I won't.
Yeah, yeah.
So, where are we? You keep talking because I need to find.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm still thinking about how you know, you always ended up getting to class late because you were so far away from that class rather than just leaving a little bit earlier. I don't know, it just made me think about it.
Leaving earlier, as in to get to the class.
So you could add a seat closer to the front versus just being so far away and always getting stuck at the back. Anyway.
Yeah, but I had a class prior to. Did you want me to leave the earlier class
Oh, right.
and
Okay.
disrupt that?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I missed that detail.
All right.
I missed that detail.
Thanks for the
You're-
prelude and the filling up the time while I found the page. All right,
No
so
problem.